So, Mr. Markovic, you are the film producer and protagonist of the film Blacklisted. It is a film about Falun Gong and the oppression of Chinese government against this practice. Tell us a few words about your film.
Well, in 2014, something happened in Belgrade. There was a summit of China and 16 Eastern European countries on the prime minister level. So before that, local people who practice Falun Gong, they did many raising awareness actions, and it was okay. However, in 2014, the story is different. When they apply for activities, police bans all their activities without any legal reason to do this. And some people who were supposed to join activities in Belgrade canceled their activities, but some still decide to come. 9 people from Bulgaria, 1 person from Finland, 1 from Slovakia entered Serbia.
The other ones, where did they cancel their participation?
They cancelled when the police said that it is not allowed. They said, okay, we will not do anything against the ban, we will cancel. Some even wanted to come. So, for example, 3 persons from Croatia were stopped on the border because they were found on the blacklist. And they said, you practice Falun Gong, you're coming to Belgrade to make protests, you cannot go in. So they stopped him on the border. They did this with some other people. However, 11 people were not on the blacklists, and they managed to enter Serbia. However, the moment they were checked into their hotels, police comes and just takes them away.
They arrested them?
They didn't say you are arrested. They say come to the police, we can talk there. However, they take their passports, they take their mobile phones, they take their computers. They don't allow them to call home, to call a lawyer, or to have a translator.
Without any charges?
So they say they were like kidnapped. So they were taken to the police station. They had a short talk there, and then they were taken to detention. In detention, one of those people had a mobile phone hidden in his shoe. So he calls Bulgarian friends and he tells them, we are arrested in Serbia, call the embassy now. And that's when the rescue action starts. So when people ask police in Serbia, where are those people? Police say, we don't know. We didn't arrest those persons from Bulgaria.
They denied everything.
They denied everything, yes. They denied, yeah. So in the end, after 2 days, for example, they admitted, but still they didn't give those people the basic rights to have defender or to have a translator or to phone. In the same time, rescue action in many European countries happened. They called their MPs, they called media and so on, and the pressure on Serbian government was growing. So in the end there was an interior minister who admitted that people are arrested when they asked him why, and he said because they had some materials with them.
Materials?
Yes, materials. Those materials are a petition to UN to stop the persecution of Falun Gong and some informational materials as well. It was a resolution of European Parliament. So these are the materials who are basis for arrest of people in Serbia. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So after this rescue action, they still didn't free those who were arrested. Only when Chinese Prime Minister left Serbia, they were put to van, driven to the border, and they were deported.
For how many days were they detained?
It was like 72 hours.
72
Approximately,
hours.
yes, like
Good
72 hours they were. So, based on this event, I was one of the participants in the event. I told this story to many people many times, and everybody enjoyed it. It's like a thriller, you know.
Yes.
And I thought, you know, my daughter, she's a film director. My son is a composer. I have other filmmakers in the family. And I wrote a script and said, okay, I will try to be a producer for the first time in my life. I want to make this film. I want people to know this story. And I thought the story is entertaining in the same time. It can tell people, it can also, you know, it can also, it's not fun, but it is kind of entertainment. So we decided to make this film and started making this film like 4 years ago.
Yes.
We didn't have any help from the film funds or the government. They didn't want to help us. No other fund gave us money. So this is a really independent project. Usually in Europe, when you make film, you will get money from some money from the government, some money from Eurimage, which is European fund, some money from other funds, and then you make the film. In this case, we had a lot of people, a lot of young filmmakers who just thought that this is their cause. They will work for low money or without money just to present this story to the world. And we also collected from friends some kind of funding, and we started doing this film. When we started doing this, there were a lot of obstacles, you know. When we did interviews in Belgrade, it was, I think, 2016, in summer 2016, yeah. Some of Falun Gong practitioners who were coming here to give interviews, those who were arrested before, they were stopped on the border, and police kept them for like hours because they found them also on those blacklists. And after they explained to them what's going on, and they're peaceful people, they were released. So they gave interviews in the end. And also because we were making reconstructions of events, we needed some Chinese persons to be actors in the film. That was very hard. It was impossible.
You couldn't find
there
Chinese
are a lot
people?
of Chinese people in Serbia who are in film industry. They do it for money. But the moment they heard that this is film about Falun Gong, they said, oh no, I cannot do it. Why you cannot do it? No, I cannot do it. And in the end, they said they are afraid of Chinese embassy. The Chinese embassy doesn't want them to do this. So how we solved this problem? Well, we hired people from Mongolia and Japan to play Chinese.
Black as Chinese.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, well, there were other obstacles as well. So we finally finished this film this year, and the film was supposed to be premiered on Beldox Festival in Belgrade on May 9 this year. One month before the festival started to do some promotional activities, and the director of the film, Sarah, my daughter, she gave an interview in one major newspaper, and tomorrow after that, the chief of the festival, the director of the festival, receives phone call from Chinese embassy with questions. Is it true that you will show the film about Falun Gong? Do you have any Chinese films in the festival as well, and how you finance the festival, how the festival is funded. He said that this is not funded by Serbian government, only a small part. The major part is funded by European funds. And this is how this telephone conversation ended. The next thing that happened is some, I don't know, 7 days before the festival, both me and the director of the film, Sarah, we went to the festival headquarters to make arrangements. And after we leave the headquarters, we see police following us. Both me and her, they were like, people behind every corner. They just watching us wherever we go. And not only two of us, also my wife, who has nothing to do with the film or Falun Gong. She's a lawyer, and she has also 3 cars following her. And it was like that for like 4 days. They were very visible. Some people who are experienced in this kinds of thing, they say that it was a kind of pressure. When you see them, they want to be seen.
Yes, of course.
So it was kind of pressure.
They wanted to show that they follow them.
After 4 days, I didn't want pressure on my family, and I said to Sarah, if you want, we will cancel the festival. It's not worth it, we can do it. But she said no, we must go on. So we proceeded with the film, and this kind of pressure stopped. However, the next thing what happened is that 5 days before the festival, fire police goes to the festival venue, and they closed the venue, they closed the cinema because they are not up to fire standards.
Yes.
And not only the blacklisted film, it's whole Serbian program. It was like 6 films in 6 days. They were all closed.
With the excuse that they...
With the excuse of the
that they
fire,
know.
yeah. Of course, we knew that this is something done by the politicians. Many people didn't believe that this happened really because of one film.
Yes.
It was hard to believe, really.
It's very hard to believe.
But what happened later is that the festival found a new venue. This new venue said, okay, we will show the 5 films, but the 6th film cannot be shown because there is some event. It was May 9th, European Day. Because of security of European Day, we cannot let the cinema to be open on that day. Okay, so the festival found the 3rd venue, and it was okay on the 3rd venue, but some people 1 day before the screening, they went to buy the tickets,
Yes.
and they couldn't buy the tickets.
Why?
And then we asked the festival, they don't sell the tickets. They called the venue and realized that they cannot show the movie. Why cannot you show the movie? Because they said there was a huge political pressure. I'm not the first-hand witness about that, but from what I was told, it was a secretary of some ministry. I don't know whether it is foreign ministry or interior ministry. He said that they had huge pressure from Chinese embassy, and that Chinese ambassador said that she will leave Serbia if this film is shown. And they cannot show the film, no way. So the festival now, these are mostly young people, and they feel that they have to do it. It was not anymore fight for one film. Yes. It was fight for freedom. And this person from the venue said that this high official, this secretary, said that they cannot show the film because of higher
Pressure.
no, it's because of higher priority of trade relations with China. And one of those young people from the festival, he said, is there a higher priority than freedom of expression? There is no higher priority for the Serbian government and for the Serbian people to maintain the freedom of expression, which is guaranteed by UN Charter, by all the laws in Serbia and so on. Yeah. So we have to do it. So in the end, they found a fourth venue. This venue is owned by an Austrian company. It was not government owned, so they couldn't make a pressure there. So in the end, we did have our premiere. Yeah. It was you know, packed venue. People were sitting on the stairs, so it was very full. And in the end, we got a lot of media coverage after that, and we also had like 4 more screenings. And after the festival was closed, the first venue, which was closed by fire the police, they felt guilty and they said, please come and show the film here after the festival. Now we are opened by fire police. So we made another screening, and after that we had like 45 minutes Q&A part. And there were a lot of very touching and smart questions from the audience who did nothing about Falun Gong, who did nothing about China and what's going on there. And in the end, it was a very good event.
So in the end, the freedom of expression was victorious.
In the end, we made victory, very big victory. It's a kind of, you know, small, but in the end, it's very big, you know.
But
and what is good also, it was not only us. This is something I forgot to say. After media picked up the story about the banning of venues, many film professionals raised their voices and they asked questions: how can you ban films? You know, the last film banned in Serbia was during Tito's times, in communist times, and even at that times, people were not officially films were not officially banned. You know, so it was like 40 years ago that the films were banned in Serbia. How can you ban them now? How can you, you know, what kind of priority is that? What kind of trade relations are more important than our freedom? So because of all these voices, we managed to show the film in the end.